Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over the best affordable fragrances for this fall. That means neither of these fragrances are going to be in the video any longer because this is like over $500 in my hands right now. But yeah, let's just get straight into the list. Alright, we're starting with the best one today. Lattafa Khamrah. You guys already know. If you've been a fan of my channel for a while, then you might just want to skip past this part because you've heard me yap about this fragrance so much because it's just amazing. Oh, this is so good. This was my signature scent last fall and winter, and between me wearing this fragrance and people purchasing samples off of me, this is my 4th bottle of this fragrance. So I know you're gonna be tempted to call cap on that, but I promise. Anyway, this fragrance is just amazing. Obviously, it's kind of inspired by Angel Share because of the bottle design, but it's like a vanilla, spicy, cinnamon, slightly boozy, and then also it has this like Christmas fruit aspect to it. Definitely smells like Christmas time. Like literally straight up Christmas fruit spice, Christmas candle type. This is not a very mellow fragrance whatsoever. It's out there, it's loud. It definitely projects a lot and it lasts like at least 10 hours. I one time got a compliment with this fragrance after wearing it for 10 hours, I think actually, 9 hours. So it lasts, trust me on that. It's great. It also layers very well with other vanilla heavy fragrances if you want to give it a slightly different vibe. I really enjoy this, and then also it's $35. There are other versions. There's Lattafa Khamrah Kawa, which I also have. I don't like it quite as much, but this is still a great option. For me, the performance is slightly worse, and the coffee note in here only lasts for around the first 15 minutes. It's just this bitter coffee bean kind of note, which is really nice. I like the smell profile a little bit better for the first 15 minutes, but then once the coffee goes away, it's just like, okay, what's the point? It lasts less, so I just go with the original over it. And then there's also the new Detour, which I haven't tried yet, but I've heard it's just a slightly smokier version. So if the difference is the same amount between Khamrah and Kawa and Khamrah and Detour, I'd probably just go with the original. But honestly, you guys just try out them for yourselves and just kind of see what you like more. All right, so now with the obvious out of the way, let's move into some stuff that is a little bit lesser known. First, I want to go over Khadlaj Caffe Latte. This is actually a clone, one of my favorite fragrances of all time, Mancera Amore Cafe. This is great. So this fragrance right here takes that fragrance, it's not a one-to-one, and this lessens the brown sugar, also pressurized atomizer, holy moly. Lessens the brown sugar and adds this like almondy, like almond flour note, and it's really, really nice. Now, I will say this definitely is not a masculine fragrance. This is a very unisex, gourmand, like dessert smelling fragrance. The original smells like this caramel affogato. It's so nice. It's like espresso, vanilla ice cream, caramel, toffee, brown sugar. And then this just adds an extra kind of facet to it with the almond flour. It's so nice. It lasts quite long too, like 8 to 10 hours. Almost every single fragrance on this list has superior longevity and performance. So I really don't pick any fragrance without great longevity and performance if we're being honest, but this fragrance right here, only like 40 bucks, I think, one of the lesser known ones, but it's just terrific, super underrated. I think girls can wear this too, so great. I know there's also another one similar to it, Vanilla Voyage by, might be Maison Azrar, which I want to get my hands on because that one's supposed to be more like, what's it called, Bianco Latte, which is similar to Amore Cafe, but I really like it. Anyway, this is great, especially if you don't need a super hyper masculine scent. This is the most edible dessert gourmand fragrance DNA. It's just so good. Please get your nose on this if that sounds like something you'd enjoy. Also, before we get any further in the video, I just want to mention, if you want to sample any fragrance in my entire collection, please check out my fragrance sampling website, top link in the description, benzfragrances.com. It would help me out a ton. Now let's continue the list. All right, the next fragrance right here is one of the most popular fragrance clones that has kind of over time gotten less and less attention, but it's still terrific. This is Haramain's Detour Noir. My bottle's pretty mangled, but the juice smells the same. This is a cologne of Parfums de Marly Layton, one of the most popular niche fragrances ever. And this fragrance is very, very nice. This is a woody, vanillic, fresh, spicy fragrance. One of the main notes you're gonna pick up on when you first smell this is this spiced apple, and it's really nice. I say this cologne has a little bit more of like a menthol-y Vicks Vapor Rub feel than Layton, but it's still very bearable, and especially once it dries down, it's not really noticeable at all. But yes, like that spiced apple, that's gonna come from a little bit of cardamom and almost like a little bit of a nutmeg vibe. But You're also gonna get this nice woody base, Gaiac wood, maybe cedar. I can't really pick out specific woods, but definitely like a woody, fresh, spicy fragrance. Very masculine and very mass appealing. This also has great longevity, 8 to 10 hours. This is one of the fresher fragrances on this list. I think you could wear this all year round, but it definitely shines most in like fall time because it has that kind of fall, warm, spicy vibe, but it's still like a fresh, warm, spicy, if that makes sense. I don't know. But yeah, Latin, one of the most complimented fragrance DNAs ever, one of the most loved, super mass appealing. I think it's great. Once it dries down, you're gonna get a little bit more vanilla, but it's still gonna maintain that fresh, spicy, sweet vibe. And it's just very nice, very addicting. This is only like 25 bucks. By the way, if you're looking for fragrance clones, honestly, Amazon isn't a bad place to buy them. As long as they have good reviews, and especially if they're prime shipping, you're pretty much like, you're not gonna get scammed. I've bought quite a few fragrances from Amazon and they're all real. So just make sure you're buying from a good seller, a lot of good reviews, you know. But yeah, this fragrance is great. This is one of the first fragrance clones I ever got. And it's like in the 90% close to Latin. So definitely check it out if you're interested. All right, the next fragrance isn't exactly a clone, but it's very similar to a very popular fragrance, Parfums Normally Altair, but this fragrance is Mercedes-Benz Club Black. I've been loving this recently. This is the EDT. I know an EDP just came out recently, but it's kind of going under the radar. I only have this EDT, but this is terrific. This is this airy, fresh, clean vanilla that I really, really like. It has this kind of slight ambery, warm, more resinous base, but it's mainly just this nice, light, airy, powdery, fluffy vanilla that isn't feminine at all either. I really enjoy this. It's very similar to Altair. It's just a little bit less kind of spicy and dusty and just keeps that kind of powdery vanilla, almost clean vanilla smell. I really enjoy it. It's not strong whatsoever. This is definitely a closer to the skin, lighter fragrance, but there are times that I really enjoy that. I've layered it with Prada L'Homme a couple times just to give it a little bit extra sweetness because that's a very soapy, powdery, fresh scent. This just, since it had the powdery kind of facet to it, I thought it might mix well, and it definitely mixed good, I would say. But yeah, terrific scent, more like the 6 to 8 hours longevity. Very nice, very mass appealing. I don't know anybody who would dislike this scent. And this is the fragrance that caused me to not pick up Altair for like a year because this was good enough to kind of fill that hole. Now that I, have a larger collection, I ended up picking up Altair, but this was a good enough substitute for a while. So definitely recommend this. Only around 50 bucks or so. And I think you could even wear this all year round if you wanted to, because it's not too heavy, but definitely excels in the fall time. And I need to pick up a new bottle soon because I'm running out. So yeah. All right, so the next fragrance I have is, I think, the most affordable on this whole list. This is Cremo Spice and Black Vanilla. This was very hyped up for a little while and then it kind of died back down. By the way, if you've seen them with the black cap, it's the same fragrance, it just has a different cap. But this is like the 4th or 5th fragrance I ever got, and it is really nice. I still can't put my finger on why this fragrance is so good and why I don't wear it enough. This is a very natural smelling vanilla. This is not a creamy, deep vanilla. This is like a vanilla bean, vanilla plant kind of smell with a slight spice to it and then a slight woodiness. It's really nice, definitely masculine, I would say, and it lasts an easy 8+ hours. I don't have a crazy amount of wear with this, but quite a good longevity on this scent. I mean, I've worn it a couple times, but it's been a minute. But for the price, this is just terrific, especially if you want something kind of more masculine, but still vanilla, because this is, like I said, not a creamy, sweet candy-like vanilla. This is like real vanilla off the freaking plant. I really enjoy this. I need to wear this more often. It smells pretty similar to Spice Bomb, the EDT, and kind of the Extreme, but more Spice Bomb EDT, because Extreme is much more focused on the spice. This is a little bit more of a fresher version of that, but definitely very similar to the EDT. I highly recommend this if you're on a budget because it's just terrific and it's not like all the other vanilla fragrances out there right now. All right, so since the term affordable is, not really agreed upon, affordable means under 50 bucks or whatever. For some people, affordable is just under $100. So I know for me, if I'm talking affordable, I wouldn't quite go that high, but I'm gonna give a couple fragrances that are closer to 100 bucks that are still really good, that deserve to get mentioned, even though they might not be completely affordable to most people. There are still some people that I can consider them affordable. So Azzaro, the Most Wanted Parfum, especially if you're gonna purchase a 50 ml of this, only $60, $70 range. The 100 milliliter is like an $80, maybe $90 range fragrance. So not even reaching $100. And this is maybe my favorite vanilla DNA. This is a very clean vanilla fragrance. It has ginger, it has vanilla, and it has woods, and it is just terrific. The ginger provides this fresh, very slight fruitiness with like a lavender clean effect that I really enjoy. And the vanilla and the woodiness is just so terrific, super mass appealing, very versatile when it comes to a vanilla fragrance. I highly recommend this. I massively prefer this over the EDP Intense. To me, the EDP Intense is just a synthetic, fruity, weird mess. This though, this is really nice. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a reliable, everyday vanilla scent for fall time. So Azzaro the Most Wanted Parfum, definitely check it out if your price point is a little bit higher, but still in that affordable range. One more kind of higher priced affordable fragrance, and then we're gonna get into the absolute cheapest of them all for the last one, but Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Extreme. This just has to be mentioned. One of my favorite, most underrated fragrances, my third bottle of it. This is like 80 bucks. You can even get it on Amazon. This is so good. This is what I call youthful sophistication. It opens up with this really punchy, bright, plum, pink pepper tobacco opening. Keep in mind this tobacco is not like a smoky, rich tobacco. It's just this nice spice, super nice. But that like brightness kind of goes away pretty quick and everything smooths out into this almond, patchouli, vanilla, leather base, and it's not ultra masculine. I know you hear those notes and you're like, oh, ultra masculine. No, it's a very smooth, slightly sweet, seductive scent. It has a slight like champagne vibe, not quite, but a very slight, almost champagne vibe. I really enjoy this. Very sophisticated, but it has that sweetness that gives it like a youthful aspect. I think it's great. I think this is the best Guerlain fragrance. It's so good. Like, and the performance, 10 hours. I've gotten the most insane compliment ever with this. Girl said she wanted to eat my jacket. I've said it before. I'm not gonna spend too long on that, but just trust me on this fragrance. Super underrated and people love it. Shout out Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Extreme. All right, last fragrance, and some of y'all are gonna call me crazy for this, but Choco freaking Musk. This is $8. This is by Rehab. And this fragrance went viral on TikTok Shop and people hate on it. But honestly, it's not bad at all, especially if you're on an ultra budget. Only $8 for a 50 ml. Literally smells like a fluffy vanilla chocolate cake. So gourmand, definitely a unisex scent. This is not masculine whatsoever, but just super purely gourmand. I love it. Smells great. Girls love it. Girls love it on themselves. Girls love it in general. This is a great, sweet, gourmand fragrance if you have little to no budget. It lasts like 6 hours, so not crazy longevity, but it smells so good, so that doesn't even matter to me. This is terrific. I highly recommend it if you're on a very, 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 very low budget. If you have a higher budget, I wouldn't go for it just because longevity's it's not very versatile. But if this is the type of fragrance you like, go for it by all means. But yeah, I had to mention it. Choco Musk, only $8. Please check it out if your budget is that low. By Rehab. Shout out Choco Musk. That is going to conclude this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my fragrance up and website, benzfragrances.com, if you want to try any fragrance that I own, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.